You will always be the villain in the story of someone who couldn't manipulate you. Stop fighting the label, embrace it, and watch your invisible chains fall to the ground. One of the deepest, most universal human desires is the need to be understood. We have a profound, desperate biological urge to be seen as the good person. We want our intentions to be recognized as pure. We want people to like us, to validate our morality, and to agree that we are on the right side of history. Narcissists, sociopaths, and master manipulators understand this human weakness perfectly, and they weaponize it against you with devastating precision. They know that the absolute quickest way to control you is to threaten your reputation. When you finally set a hard boundary, when you finally execute the zero emotion strategy, or when you finally walk away forever, the manipulator experiences a catastrophic narcissistic injury. They cannot accept that they lost. They cannot accept that they are the toxic element. Their fragile ego would shatter into a million pieces if they looked in the mirror and admitted their own abusive behavior. Therefore, their brain must immediately construct an alternate reality, a grand, fictional narrative where they are the innocent, bleeding victim, and you are the cruel, heartless, calculating villain. They will broadcast this fake story to everyone who will listen. They will launch a vicious smear campaign to ruin your name. Let us observe exactly how this smear campaign unfolds in reality. In the workplace, the toxic coworker you just set a boundary with will not attack you directly. Instead, they will go to the break room. They will sigh heavily. They will look exhausted and tell your colleagues, "I don't know what I did to offend them, but they are being so hostile to me lately. I'm just trying to keep the peace." In your personal life, the narcissistic ex-partner will call your mutual friends, crying. They will conveniently leave out the months of emotional abuse they inflicted on you, and instead focus entirely on the one time you finally snapped and raised your voice. They will say, "I am terrified of their anger. I tried so hard to love them." This is a highly calculated performance. They are actively recruiting flying monkeys, the naive bystanders who will do their dirty work for them. These bystanders will absorb the fake narrative, feel a false sense of righteous indignation, and slowly begin to distance themselves from you. You will feel the temperature in the room drop when you enter. You will notice the uninvited whispers. This is the exact moment where 99% of people fail. When they hear the lies being spread about them, their ego screams in agony. Their good person complex kicks into overdrive. They rush into the fray, frantically trying to defend themselves. They post long, emotional explanations on social media. They reach out to mutual friends to tell their side of the story. They present screenshots, evidence, and logical arguments, desperately begging the audience to see the truth. This is a massive, fatal strategic error. When you try to defend yourself against a smear campaign, you are still actively participating in the manipulator's game. You are proving to them that they still have the power to control your emotions and dictate your actions from afar. Furthermore, explaining yourself to a crowd that is eager to believe gossip is a total waste of your precious, finite energy. People who truly know you do not need an explanation. And people who believe the lies of a manipulator without ever asking for your side of the story are not your friends. They are an audience looking for drama. Let them have their cheap entertainment. Eventually, one of these flying monkeys will approach you. They will come disguised as a concerned friend, saying, "Hey, I heard what happened. Are you okay?" Why were you so mean to them? Your instinct will be to explode, to present your evidence, to scream the truth. Do not say a single word of defense. Look them dead in the eye, perfectly calm, and say, I understand they are telling a very compelling story. If that is the version of me you choose to believe, you are free to do so. I won't entertain this conversation. And then you walk away. Imagine the absolute shock on their face. You just denied them the drama they were craving. You refused to audition for their approval. By not fighting back, you actually exposed the manipulator. The flying monkey expected a monster, but instead, they found an unbothered, silent sovereign. The silence is deafening, and it forces them to question everything they were just told. The sovereign mind understands a profoundly liberating truth. The ultimate freedom lies in simply letting them think whatever they want. You must learn the dark, beautiful art of being perfectly fine with being the villain in someone else's delusion. When you completely surrender the need to control your reputation in the minds of fools, you become literally untouchable. Let them paint you entirely in black. Let them tell the world that you are cold, unforgiving, and deeply arrogant. Let them say you broke their heart. Let them cry their fake tears. What does their story actually cost you? Nothing. It only costs you if you value their opinion. When you stop valuing their completely irrelevant opinion, their smear campaign becomes nothing more than a pathetic dog barking at the moon. Think about the immense, terrifying power you gain when you simply shrug and say, okay, I am the villain. Now what? The manipulator has no next move. Their ultimate weapon, social shame, has just shattered against your impenetrable indifference. You have stripped them of their only remaining leverage. Being the villain in a toxic person's story does not mean you are actually evil. It simply means you had the courage to build a fortress they could not conquer. It means you respected yourself enough to stop playing a rigged game. It is a badge of absolute honor. It is the scars of a sovereign mind. While they are exhausting themselves, running around town, desperately trying to convince everyone of their fake victimhood, you are sitting in absolute silence. You are resting. You are building. You are focusing entirely on your own empire. You have reclaimed the narrative by refusing to write a single word in it. Let them keep their cheap sympathy from the crowd. You keep your quiet, absolute sovereignty. The next time you hear that someone is spreading a toxic rumor about you, do not flinch. Do not prepare a defense. Smile in the dark. Embrace the shadows. Walk quietly into the freedom of being the villain they can never, ever reach. The peace is worth the infamy.